Again, I'm a voyeur, so I love it. I'll watch it. I don't.
It
Yeah,
was definitely.
sideshows that would come in and stuff. Do you still do those?
Yeah.
Oh, and the butterflies, before you get on, you're waiting in line.
Certified freak, 7 days a week.
Yo, what up, choppers? Joe Semino here with
Marilu.
Hi, Marilu.
Hello.
So we got started about 2 minutes late. Apologies for the late start. What is up, Merce Sausage from Cleveland, Bubbles, and Big Bacchus?
Yeah. Hello.
You three represent literally 50% of our total audience. Thank you. Thank you we have 50% audience participation in the show so far, Marilu.
Awesome.
I'll take that.
Mm-hmm. You okay?
Yeah, I was fixing my pocket. It was sticking to the chair.
Ah, okay.
What's up, Keith?
Hi, Keith.
Well, as fate would have it, with Keith's comment, it still represents 50% of our total viewing audience. We now have a total of 8 viewers for the math deficient.
So, are you manifesting more?
Well, no, apparently we just lost one. So,
You spoke.
Yep. Yeah, that seems to be the trouble these days.
They are back.
Wow, we're happy to have you, Bubbles. Actually, we're happy to have everybody who comes on and watches the show. Actually, I think it's interesting how many people. What?
I'm just looking at. I was looking at like my desk, and I kept hearing a buzz, and I didn't know what it was. I just realized there's a bee on my desk that's dying. It's like. Bzz, bzz.
We've had a little bit of an infiltration of winged creatures last week or two with the cooling weather.
Yes. They're trying to find a place to hibernate.
Oh, they're just trying to stay warm.
Oh, that too. Hello, Mo.
What up, Mo? Anyway, I was Are you woman fasting, Marilu?
I am, but probably in a whole different frame of mind, though. Yeah, it is sad, Bubbles.
How do you woman fast in a different way, Marilu? What's up, Chantal?
I just kind of I think as it pertains to me, I woman fast every night before I go to bed. Still being that good little girl, doing my prayers before night. But
you said prayers.
yeah. Still kind of there's a thing in my culture where like when you greet your elders, you always say bendición, which is to ask for their blessings. So same thing, and more or less, when you go to bed, you ask for your blessings. You ask for, you do your nightly prayer, and asking for it or manifesting for the good things that you want in your life. and protection overall and so forth, and your marriage and blah blah blah. So that's kind of like my woman fasting, I guess you could say.
Hmm. That's nice.
Mm.
Any other
Oh, Kevin. Hi.
nightly rituals? Or
Um,
is Mo and Jomo the same? Or are they watching from separate devices?
it could be. No, that's something I've always done. But of course, it's the first time I'm kind of like mentioning it out uh, in the open because it's just something that I do for me. You know? It's a good way to keep your sanity sometimes.
Can be, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
Put everything in a higher power.
uh-huh. Mo and Jomo say they are watching separately tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I was saying, getting ready to say earlier, it's nice to have so many people jump in every Monday and come and hang out with us for an hour, and while we talk about who knows what. Big Bacchus says gratitude is good for one's being.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree. It's I've talked with some people recently, and even some close friends of mine who talk about a lot of what's going on in the world, and there's a lot of terrible things going on, and it's easy to get fixated on the terrible things that are going on around you. Um, but as Big Bacchus says, gratitude is good for one's being. Your perspective and how you look at things matters,
Mm-hmm.
and looking at what you have versus what you don't um, can really be a world of difference in how you experience life. And so, yeah, I couldn't agree more with Big Bacchus. Gratitude is good for one's being.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, we're wired for, we talk about negativity, and, human beings are wired specifically for negativity. They're wired for being on the lookout for dangerous things and dangerous situations, dangerous people. And, um, so it's easy to fall into looking at things through that lens constantly, because everything can look dangerous depending on how you look at it. So, perspective. Speaking of perspective, what were your thoughts on the meet and greet on Friday night?
The meet and greet went well. We had, I think, almost 60 people show up for the meet and greet. It's nice to see our members also give back to the community. And going out to meet and greets like that um, helps local businesses besides ourselves as well, and it gets a good opportunity for people to be out of that state or that state of thinking. Um, that there's all this pressure and fear and coming to the club. So it's kind of good to see everyone out and about and just interacting socially and having a good time and enjoying each other's conversations and so forth, and being open to new people, because we did have quite a few new people that and or people that have not actually walked into our doors yet show up and kind of get a feel for what the community is like.
They did. That was actually really nice. There was a throuple that drove pretty good distance to come spend the weekend at the shop.
Yeah, 2 hours.
Yeah, specifically because they had heard about how welcoming the community was, and I believe they posted on the news feed, did they not?
Yes, they did.
That they were quite surprised, pleasantly surprised
Hmm.
at how welcoming the shop members were to them.
Yeah.
You know, even being from out of town
Hmm.
and brand new.
Right. Right.
You said something earlier when you were talking about the meet and greet about pressure.
Hmm.
What did you mean by that?
I think there's some people that still don't um, truly understand what the club is about, and they feel that walking through the door means that they have to be performative in some fashion. And that's not the case. We are definitely not a space where consent is implied, and or that you have to participate in something one way or the other once you walk into the space.
That is an extremely um, common misconception about at least the shop specifically.
Hmm.
I know that people think that about a lot of clubs like that, and you know, everyone operates a little bit differently.
Right.
But specifically, and one of the reasons why the club has been renamed to the Shop Social Lounge is because it is social first. Um, there is zero. There's not even. I'm saying there's zero pressure. There isn't even any sort of thought or expectation that your presence at the club in any way, shape, or form deems you ready to participate in anything, up to and including socializing.
Hmm.
For people who are really just looking to be in a space, um, whether you're partnered or whether you're there by yourself, and you really just want to be in a space that is accepting of certain aspects of yourself, that in and of itself is comforting. So, um, Jason says that he's running late because he's been moving furniture around his living room. So, we really appreciate you jumping in, even though you've been feverishly working on your furniture arrangement.
Rearranging, yes.
Yes. So what up, Jason? Um, yeah, there was a conversation with one of our members, I think specifically about that they had commented that they were thankful for the meet and greet
Yes.
because they felt it took away that maybe that sense of pressure that they had to participate at the club.
Hmm.
So, which is interesting to hear, even from longtime members.
Hmm.
What do you make of that? What would make somebody?
I think for some people, it's that people pleasing. For others, it's that the FOMO aspect of things. There could be a lot of variables, and even sometimes um, inadvertently placing pressure on themselves
Mm,
because they see the people that they consider to be friends going into a room playing, or going into like group room playing or whatever, and they feel this self-imposed pressure, like, well, they're my friends, I should go with them too.
mm.
And unfortunately, then it becomes all about being performative and not really enjoying the experience, um, because you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Um,
We've
and
talked a lot about that in the past,
hmm.
where people in the lifestyle, generally, when we talk about it in terms of couples, maybe one being into it, one not so into it, or maybe not at all.
Hmm.
We talk about this in female bisexuality, where many times that's what the men want to see, so the women sort of go through that performative aspect of it.
For the male gaze, yes.
Yeah, and so it's understandable why people might think that.
Hmm.
Um, it was just interesting to hear that come from an individual, where there doesn't appear to be, at least for me, that maybe pressure from a partner to do or be those things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but sometimes, we get in our own heads. Like I said, it's that self-imposed pressure. It's like, or maybe, they used to be the life of the party, and things have changed for them, and they now feel like they still need to be that for everyone else, and not for themselves.
Hmm.
You know, so there's I always say that for some people within this lifestyle, there is a lifespan. There are people that come in and, they can be around for 6 months and then need to take a break because of family and other obligations.
Mm-hmm.
They're the long haul ones that, it's like they're older, empty nesters. They're trying to, experience life, you know, since they've kind of put it on the back burners for themselves. And now that everyone is out of the household, they can, do their thing and enjoy it, and, no holds barred. And, this is them for the rest of their lives, you know. But yeah, just like everything else, the lifestyle has a lifespan. It depends on, where you are in life.
It's in, you said about empty nesters, and in some ways I'm fascinated when there are couples that come in who have been together for multiple decades, 2, 3, sometimes 4 decades, and then all of a sudden decide, not all of a sudden, but at some point decide that they want to be more adventurous with each other, and explore things, fantasies, thoughts, ideas that they've had. And then on the other side of that coin are a younger generation of people, a younger generation of folks who are in multi-partner dynamics sometimes, and or just are very open and accepting of others without, say, without labels, but maybe without labeling in some way. So it's interesting you have that wide range of people who are coming into the lifestyle or exploring the lifestyle
Mm-hmm.
at different stages in their life.
Right.
You know. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's fascinating.
yeah, it's always interesting, and I kind of think of like Roderick's documentary. There's he's interviewed people from all different paths of and walks of life,
Mm-hmm.
as how um, open relationships work for them. Everything from people that are poly to people who are actually E&M, closed triads, you name it. He talks to just about everyone, everything, and anyone within that spectrum. And it's interesting to see, like you said, the people that are younger, you know, and their interpretations of things, and those that are older and how they've kind of, maybe it's a part of their, their next life. They could have been partnered with somebody else and things didn't work out. Excuse me. And now they're venturing into the lifestyle, looking for a partner that would be open to it as well.
You mean as an individual?
Excuse me?
You
Yeah.
mean as an individual?
Yes.
Right.
An individual. There was one in particular that I was watching the other day where, yes, again, it was an older couple. They were both in, had gotten out of long term relationships and had actually gone on a first date. And I believe it was one expressed to the other. It was like, look, I'm really interested in you, but I'm starting a new aspect of my life and I just have to be honest with you and let you know that I have a male lover and a female lover. And he was like, and if just so you know, that's an aspect of my life. And if you're interested in me, you have to be accepting of them too. And, this person was like, I knew not one iota of what he was talking about.
Really?
Yeah. But here they are now, later on, some years later, and, they're partnered as well. And,
With
so
each other.
with each other. So, it comes at all different, points in life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just the, making sure that it's the right thing for you at that point in time. And for your partner, if you're partnered, and how you navigate this.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
What advice would you give individuals who are truly looking for someone or some people,
Mm-hmm.
if they're, leaning towards poly? But, I think for many, maybe are looking for a longer term partner um, to explore the lifestyle with. What sort of advice would you give them for being successful, or at least helping them be successful in, navigating that and finding somebody within the lifestyle?
As in being someone that's going to be a long term
Yeah.
partner,
Yeah. To explore the
or
lifestyle with.
spouse.
Yeah. We mentioned last week a newer, or not newer couple, a couple that's been longtime members or newly engaged to be
Mm-hmm.
married.
Yeah.
Um, and we see multiple iterations of that where that happens with people where they meet,
Mm-hmm.
in the lifestyle and become partnered. What advice would you give people who are looking to do just that?
I think before you get to that point, you have to really know what it is that you're looking for. What are your, um, we talk about this sometimes, are your wants, your desires, and how does that fit into someone else? Do they align with you? Do you have the same, not just an alignment on fantasies or things, but do they align with you ethically, morally, values? All of those things have to take part in your decision making as towards, who's the person that you're looking for. Um, and it's one of those things where you just, like all of our couples that have met here and so forth, it's just, being honest, transparent, some people would say radically honest about what it is that you are looking for. And when you find that somebody that kind of has that connection, it's all about communication, communication, communication. The three C's. Um, you know, uh, exactly, Bacchus. To be true to yourself, one must know oneself first. Um, and when you say that, Bacchus, I think it means it's more than just like your true self. It really is, because there, just like everyone has an outward image, for others to see, we kind of have an image of ourselves, and you have to get really down and deep and know if you truly understand what that is. Are you just telling yourself the things you want to hear, or are you truly being honest with yourself? And there was someone today that mentioned about like having hope, and how Pandora's box was actually a box that contained all these ailments for society and for our relationships. And hope was the last thing that was in the box. So, is it truly in your best interest to hope for things? Was what, and, is it, if you're constantly hoping for the right person, the right thing, the right job, the right everything, and when they don't fall into alignment, is hope a detriment or not?
Hmm.
So, you know, to be hopeful for those things of wanting someone to share those experiences and everything with you, you truly have to be honest with yourself. And it's no longer a hope, but rather a manifestation of the person that you want to be standing next to you.
Yeah, I think you had read to me what that
Mm-hmm.
specific passage, and I think that can be interpreted in many different ways. And I think each person, as they read that, will interpret it a little differently.
Correct.
I think hope without action,
Mm-hmm.
hope without communication, hope without doing the things that are necessary to bring you closer to the thing that it is that you're hoping for, um, that's when hope is a detriment. Or hoping that another person will be or do all of the things that you need or want them to do in order um, for you to feel whole or
Mm-hmm.
happy. And in those circumstances, you either have to you can continue to hope and work with the person and find solutions, or you can walk away,
Mm-hmm.
or you can accept.
Right.
You can accept the person for who they are, and just understand that that's how things will be. But I think those are really the only real options.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the other person has to want to change.
It's true.
So
Mm.
anyway, we started talking about the meet and greet, and we got way
So
deep in the woods on and some other stuff, which is good.
philosophical.
Yeah, no, it's good. I think that it's important to discuss things like this because from the outside looking in, for a lot of people, when they look at what it is that we do or the types of things that the club is involved with,
Mm-hmm.
it's again that common misnomer that it's a quote unquote place to just come and have sex, or sex and come, whatever. Um, and like Wednesday, we've got game night coming up. It's purely a social event. And the reason we do that is because there are so many people in the community that have common interests outside of just sexuality. Um, so game night sort of brings people like that together,
Mm-hmm.
so that they can commune and be funny, witty, sexy, cute, be themselves in a room full of other people who have some common interests also, who are open and accepting of the differences between us,
Mm-hmm.
as human beings. It's the one thing that the shop gets a lot of accolades for, are the community, the people that the diversity of the community
Mm-hmm.
of people that attend the shop. Um, to me, it bridges that. Let me push back. I think the community at the shop shows that it is possible for people who come from all different walks of life, backgrounds, socioeconomic statuses, can all come together and be in one space, one community, supporting one another.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what makes at least the shop community extremely unique. Well, Jason's doing the whole hope thing, it seems.
Yes. Thank good for you, Jason.
You know, Jason, I'm gonna say one thing about that, and not necessarily to give you hope, but to just suggest that anything is possible. And I'm gonna give one really interesting example of that. Um, about 20 plus years ago is when I met Marilu for the very first time, and in no way, shape, or form did the thought ever occur to me that I would be married to that woman. And so, some decades later, that ends up being the case. So, Jason, if you are really still in love with her and it's been 3 years, you can certainly hold out hope that you will eventually be together. So, because all things are possible. Anyway.
For a minute there, I read it and I thought her name was Tiffany G. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jason. It was just kind of like ran together.
Excuse me. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So Big Baka said earlier, in order to be true to oneself, you must know oneself first.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be difficult for some people, for a lot of people. We're sort of, at least for us, I know in our generation and the way we were raised in a way that to get along, you had to go along. And so you can certainly lose yourself in that mindset.
There you go. Okay.
So Jason says that Tiffany's last name is Green. So it is Tiffany G.
Okay.
We stand corrected.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Well, good luck with you and Tiffany G, Jason. I hope it works out. So, anyway, Jason, you threw me for a loop there. I forgot what I was saying.
Awesome, though. Cool.
What's that, Marilu?
I was just reading something here real quick about our upcoming events, and as we were just talking about game night, someone just got a ticket for game night.
Nice.
It's like,
Nice.
yay.
Yeah. So, game night is about coming together and socializing, hanging out, and just being in the space. I think it's, if you got nothing else going on a Wednesday night and you usually sit in front of the TV watching Netflix or, picking your nose or, scrolling your phone, you can get out of the house for a couple of hours, socialize, maybe play some games. There's everything from D&D to board games to card games. Marilu, you've got so many games that you put out. First of all, I don't know how many we have. And because of that, I don't even have a clue what we have.
Oh my God. We have a lot of games that I do know.
You and I did one a couple of maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago where we took cards out, and there were some pretty. There were quite. We had to pull 10 cards or 12 cards,
and
each card had a question you had to ask your partner,
right?
And some of them were really poignant questions about the relationship or even about yourself.
Yeah, there were quite a bit. I'm trying to think. I think we did. I don't know if we did the Where Shall We Begin? But I have a lot of these games. They're actually more of a icebreakers. So I have them for like friends, for couples, but it's you pick 12 cards and then you each have to answer the card respectively to the other person. You know, but yeah, we did that the other day, a couple weeks ago, and that's always fun. And I do put these out for like um, some of our Freaky Fridays and some events um, that people kind of just need a little extra tactile game or something to kind of get them talking. So those are always fun. But yeah, I was literally trying to look at the I like literally took photos of all the board games
Hmm.
that I had, but I can't recall when that was.
Chantel says they're bringing Telestrations After Dark. It's a mix between Pictionary and the old school telephone game. Well, first of all, I am terrible at drawing, so forget about Pictionary. But we've talked about the telephone game before.
Mm-hmm.
And we've talked about it like that, and as it relates to rumors you hear from people. And I've I always found it fascinating to hear about a situation that I have firsthand knowledge of, for it to get back to me from a third or fourth or sixth party,
Uh-huh.
like oh, I heard about this situation, and I heard that this and this and this and that happened. I'm like, not even close. And I remember playing the telephone game in school, where the teacher would tell the first student a phrase that they had to repeat to the person behind them, and by the time it got to the last person, the phrase was completely different. It had nothing to do with the original
yeah.
phrase.
Totally. It's just like the commercial. And she tells 10 people, and he tells 10 people. And, granted, that was about freaking a hair product, you know? But the whole concept was that, what started out with to what ended up was two different things,
Right.
you know?
Big Bacchus has a question about my shirt. He's asking if it says my wife eats me, meets me, or beats me.
Beats you.
Yes. So this was one of my birthday gifts. Was this my wife beats me with a B
Mm-hmm.
shirt?
Yes.
Actually, I think it's kind of funny.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So I found my list of my pictures of all the games I have. We have Partner Swap, Let's Get Deep, After Dark, Let's Get Deep Friends Edition. Oh my God, Acts of Insanity, Exploding Kittens, Never Have I Ever, Unstable Unicorns, Bad Choices, Slip It In, Incoherent, Hand to Hand Wombat.
Those sound like event names.
What's the? Oh, here we go. All of the Cards Against Humanity, Uno Dare for adults only, Game of Phones was one. Let me see. Blockbuster. I had Twister. We had Monopoly. But yeah, those are quite a bit of games. As well as us having always, coloring books and you know, craft paper to like scribble on and do little doodads and stuff like that. Doodling. So yeah, we have quite a bit of things for people to engage in. Someone had asked me if I was going to bring out bingo. Um,
The sex toy bingo.
because we've done sex toy bingo before.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm unprepared for that for this particular Wednesday. That was always something that we kind of just did it as a separate event where we played bingo before the night, or at least the first couple of hours of the night as a icebreaker too for people, and then they would, the music would come on, and they would go and do like a regular normal night.
Right.
Just like we did consent bingo as well.
Yeah, we did that with NCSF. Remember in Vegas, it was
Yes.
the buyout event.
Mm-hmm.
In all fairness, I was a little resistant to it at first.
Well, the whole point is that the way to play consent bingo is that you actually have to ask people questions of their understanding of consent, and or, and more or less in going with what's on your card, so that you can get the 5 across in
Right.
whatever direction. So it's not someone actually calling it out, but we've done it that way too, where I have actually called out the items, and if you had it on your card, then you could lift your hand up and answer what that was for you, to be able to then get the coin or the dauber for your specific spot on your bingo card. So there's different ways to play it, but it's always a great icebreaker to get people talking, and you kind of like, oh, wait a minute, what did they say?
The consent bingo, you mean?
The consent one, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's what I said. I was a little resistant to it at first, and after really just a few minutes of doing it, I was like, okay, I can see this working. Especially as an icebreaker.
Yeah.
Oh.
So wait a minute, you were resistant to consent?
No, I was resistant to the icebreaker.
Okay.
I've always been.
Make sure you clarify.
Yeah, I've always been a little hesitant to participate in sort of what I would qualify as forced interactions, I guess. But in those cases, they're consenting to participate.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway.
Yep. So since we talked about game night, this weekend is a holiday weekend.
It is.
So
Well, I wanted to talk about this past Saturday.
Sure, we totally bypassed that.
We did. We did not. You and I did not personally participate in the event on Saturday, which was Barely There, a Shira Fair.
Right.
But quite a few people did end up coming out and participating in the event. So I'm happy to say that Barely There, the first iteration of the event, was wildly successful.
Great.
Reports back from other members and from the staff were that it was by and large a
lot of fun for people.
Mm-hmm.
Which is awesome.
I would agree.
Mm-hmm.
So you were getting ready to talk about this coming weekend and the fact that we are closed.
Yes. But with that, again, Wednesday night is our game night. That you just described. And then, starting for September, we're going to be doing what we call Happier Hour, which is going to be, hello, Melvin, our open house. Just change the name a little bit. And that's going to be on the first and third Thursdays of every month. You get a tour of the space for those people that are new during that time. But you also get to, members will be here as well in the space. So you can ask anything and nothing's off limits, and your questions about the club and how it operates and, how the community is accepting and so forth. So it's basically, at your pace, your choice and your comfort.
And to be clear, this event is open to members also.
Mm-hmm.
It's the goal of Happier Hour is to, in fact, have that true open house type social, so that both members and non-members can sort of meet and interact. I think getting Mary Lou and I can talk about club till we're blue in the face and how wonderful it is and great, and how much fun you're going to have and how perfect it's going to be for your relationship or relationships.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is that hearing it from people who are actually doing it, who are in it, who are participating in it at that club level, I think has a much bigger impact for new people. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so I was peeking at the guest list to see, and there's actually a good number of members that are showing up for the very first Happier Hour
Mm-hmm.
also,
Yes,
which,
yes.
which is good.
Yeah. And with that, though, we've also rebranded our karaoke night to be Sing and Swing. So, that's our usual karaoke. Um, the
That is a play event.
right.
One of the reasons we rebranded it from just plain old karaoke to Sing and Swing is because even some of our members were confused as to whether or not it was an actual play aloud event.
Mm-hmm.
So the hope is they have a better understanding.
Right.
Swing and Swing is karaoke and play all in one.
Yes.
Can they play while doing karaoke?
I don't know. That wasn't anything that was per se discussed. I know it's oddly enough when we started doing karaoke, a lot of people took on the theme from karaoke and
Mm-hmm.
were coming up on stage and either as they sang, doing a teaser for people and taking articles of their clothing off, kind of thing. And then all of a sudden, like, that kind of dwindled.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if anyone would be apt to what you're describing or not. I think for some people that might be very difficult to keep a tune.
Might be.
I mean, if someone's playing with your flute and you're off, you know.
For some reason, I'm reminded of a story that you told about some Japanese game show, and I may be convoluting. Um,
No, no, no.
Did they have to sing?
I don't particularly recall if there was one where they had to sing, but I know there was one where there were test tubes involved and measurements and how much or how not much or um, other different aspects. I don't, like I said, I don't particularly remember the singing aspect of it, but
Well, I'm curious to see if anybody does end up trying that.
mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's Friday, September 5th. Sing and Swing. We'll see
Yeah.
if the two go together like chocolate and peanut butter.
Yeah. And then, of course, then we have our deviancy detention. It's kind of like our deviancy / schoolgirl.
It is. Usually that first weekend of September is sort of a back to school week, and for years we've been doing the back to schoolgirl event.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to kind of change it up this year and see, play on the whole, yes, that sort of school theme, but also little bondage BDSM built into it, maybe some role playing
Mm-hmm.
type thing. So, we'll see. I'm really curious to see how deviancy detention turns out.
Right. Anything else going on for that event?
For that one specifically,
Mm-hmm.
I know that Mistress Dolly is intending to be there. There's also there's been a discussion about having a BDSM class prior to, but I don't think that's officially up on the schedule yet.
Okay. And then on that, The following week is our Neuro Spicy, the sensory friendly event.
Yeah, I'm actually I'm pretty pumped about this. They're saying there was a good number of feedbacks that were sent in when we did the poll about what the club could do to make that event.
Mm-hmm.
I guess more in line with some of our neuro spicy folk.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a first time event for us. We did. It's funny you mentioned that on Friday at the meet and greet, 2 new members had commented. Well, new members new to the club had not attended yet.
Mm-hmm.
Commented that they saw that specific event and had decided they were going to attend that one. I think is their first
Right.
event.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So with the just like everyone's having new classes or new school events going on come September, we have some new events lined up. A new, let's say, curriculum
a little
for
bit.
the
Yes.
fall,
Mm-hmm.
and just seeing how that goes with everyone. So,
Yeah, there are a few new events that are on the schedule for September, along with some actually some tried and true. Candy Shop is one of those that have done pretty well for the club. Seem to be pretty popular. But there are actually 3 new events that we have not actually done before besides the Neuro Spicy. So I guess that's 4 new events.
yeah,
No, 5 new events, Mary Lou.
new events. Whoa, that's a lot.
That's almost half of our events for the month.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so Off Duty is Saturday, September 20th. That's an event geared towards people that really are looking for a night out. Nothing special to, no themes, anything. It's just you need a night out for yourselves. Then Friday, September 26th, another new event, Fluid. This is an event geared towards people who find themselves to be more sexually fluid or gender fluid. So maybe geared more towards our NB type folks or people who just don't necessarily feel that their sexuality fits into a box.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one I think is kind of interesting, Operation Seduction, which was sort of an amalgamation of a couple of different events that were talked about. But ultimately what we landed on was this 007 versus MI6 themed event. And so the purpose of it is that you dress for your camp. Are you a James Bond 007 or an Ethan Hunt, MI6 type spy person?
Right.
So sort of dressing in that in that theme. So those are all new events for this month, including the Happier Hour.
Right. And I think that one's kind of cool because we're going to be actually giving people like different little spy code names and team colors for like which camp they're on, and little intel drops, little missions to conclude throughout the night.
Yeah. Should you choose to accept the mission.
The challenge.
Melvin is asking about New Year's Eve. I will have to check on the New Year's Eve committee on that, Melvin, and get back to you. But I can tell you it will be on December 31st.
No.
What? It will be.
It will be.
It's the one event that's always the same date every year.
Yeah, that is true. So, but what?
That and our anniversary, St. Patrick's Day.
Correct. That is correct.
So yeah, hopefully soon, Melvin. Actually, it's the event schedule is pretty much done for the year. We're just waiting on some graphics and stuff for those events. So, but you should see everything posted hopefully within the next week or so.
Yep.
So
That's awesome.
my goal was to get everything up by September 1st.
Oh,
Well, thank you for being patient.
yes.
So it is New Year's Eve. I think, I've had some really wonderful New Year's Eves with you, Mary Lou. I remember times standing up on the stage at during the ball drop, watching everybody, you know, being in the spirit of the new year.
Mm-hmm.
And those are some really beautiful times. So thank you for that reminder, Big Bacchus.
Yay.
So, but we have a litany of events before then, so let's focus
Yes.
on those. Halloween is up and for sale. Also, we are officially at 50% sold out.
Mm-hmm.
We have just a few of the summer spell tickets left. If and actually, I wanted to mention. I think
Yeah.
I'm going to look really quick. There are two. Let me just verify before I speak. So there are two upgrades that are available. One of them is early entry and parking pass, and the other is just early entry. There are two early entry parking passes left, and for those of you who don't know, the shop has a parking lot in the rear. It's a fenced-in parking lot, and so with Halloween being the biggest event of the year, parking is always at a premium. So with this specific upgrade, you will have not only be able to attend 30 minutes early before everybody else, you'll be able to park in a reserved parking space in the back and then come in the club's back door. So there are two of those left, and there are 6 summer spell tickets available. I need to update
6
that.
tickets left. Ah.
Yeah, 6 summer spell tickets. These are the least expensive tickets that you can get for the event. Once these are sold out, we will be bumped up to the next tier. So grab your tickets.
Cool.
Let me just look at the calendar one real quick time and make sure there wasn't something else. No, I think we're good. I did confirm this weekend when the new Glowgasm goes up for Saturday, November 29th, that DJ Rakarani is confirmed to be spinning for that.
Yay.
So we did not see him today.
No, we didn't. He's probably tired from this weekend.
Yes. Yeah. So speaking of that, DJ Rakarani was inducted into the Hall of Fame at the ASN Awards this year. He says he's all excited. This is his 50th award that he's won. So,
Awesome.
So
That's
yeah.
okay.
I think he was a little disappointed he didn't win like DJ of the year again or whatever, but he's won it for like 17 years in a row.
I know.
So
it just means that he has to step down and let the next generation in.
Well, that's just it. The person who won has been a lifestyle or been a DJ for 27 years at the Bunny Ranch in Nevada.
Right.
I can't remember his name right now, but yeah, so that's who won DJ of the year. And Ronnie said that when he was giving his speech on stage, he says, "Well, he's only got 49 more to go to be in the same place as Rockin' Ronnie." So that was his first award ever. So,
cool.
But yeah, the ASN Awards were this past weekend in Orlando.
Yes.
So
cool.
But
yay.
Anyway, one real quick thing I wanted to mention. We were talking about I think it was a member or maybe an applicant had emailed, and they were curious about social interactions at the club, and they were concerned about whether or not they were going to be able to navigate their own social anxieties within within the club environment. And of course, we always recommend coming to the social events if there's ever one outside of the club,
right?
Or things like the happy hour. But I don't think members know that they have access to you as members of the club to spend some time with you to talk potentially about their interest in the lifestyle, or maybe they're having trouble navigating things. How can members of the shop book time with you?
Oh, that's real easy. All you have to do is go to mariluandyou.com, and if you click on the menu, go to Let's Meet. There is a quickie Q&A with Mary Lou that you can book. And that's just a quick 15-minute consult, any quick questions you might have about the club, about E&M, whatever it may be. And or you can actually book otherwise a full 1 hour, consult, and we could talk about everything and anything you'd like.
How much is the 15-minute session?
That is a free session.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So after that 15 minutes, if they decide they want to book more time with you, they can do that.
Correct.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Well, yeah. So for those of you who may be new to the club, or you're interested in navigating that, you can visit mariluandyou.com and book your free 15-minute get to know you session.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are interested in joining the club, but have not yet pulled the trigger, so to speak, you can visit bodyshoppittsburgh.com, click the Apply Now button. That'll take you to our online application, which also doubles as your online quote-unquote dating profile. Once you've completed that application, you'll be asked to watch a quick 90-second video on the basic consent policies of the club. Complete your age verification so that we know you're at least 21 years of age or older. And our application review team will go over that, and hopefully you're approved.
Awesome.
So anything else you want to touch on before we go, Mary Lou?
No, I think we are all set for this Monday night.
Fantastic. We've been doing pretty good keeping to an hour the last few shows.
Mm-hmm.
We should be proud.
Oh, me.
I said we should be proud.
Okay. I was going to say, okay.
So, well, listen, we really appreciate you folks coming in again here on Monday. All of you who chime in early and participate in the show, it really means a lot. Kind of helps things hum along. Anytime you got to ask questions or comment, we really appreciate that. Since we will not be here this weekend, we won't see you this weekend. For those of you coming on Wednesday for game night, we'll see you then.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Mary Lou and I will be back here next Monday for Labor Day. Did we decide that?
We haven't decided. It depends where we're at.
Oh, well, listen,
because I'm supposed to have jury duty on Tuesday.
Right. So how about this? How about we play Labor Day TBD?
True. Labor Day TBD.
All right. So listen, folks, Labor Day is TBD. If we don't see you next Monday, holy smokes, it'll be almost 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Well, listen, we appreciate you guys watching tonight. I hope you have a wonderful evening and the rest of the week. And if we don't see you on Wednesday, I hope you have a great Labor Day weekend.
Yes.
So, you guys take care.
Bye-bye.
Certified free, 7 days a week. That wet ass pussy good. My pull-out game weak. Ooh, yeah. I'm fucking with that wet ass. Swimming in it, baby. I'ma bring a bucket and a mop, darling. Give you everything I got. I'm falling. Yeah. I'm fucking with that wet ass. Beat it up, catch a charge, extra large and extra hard. Put your pussy in my face, sweep my nose like a credit card. I'm on top, you wanna ride, do a giggle while listen to spit it up, my girl, while you looking in my eyes. Pussy is wet, I'ma take a dive, I'ma tie you up like you're a prize. Let's role play, I'll wear disguise, I'ma park my Mack truck and you can ride. Yeah. Can we deal with that? Pussy, gobble me, swallow me, drip it down inside of me. I gotta jump out before it gets inside of you. Tell me where to put it, but don't tell what you about to do. Talk your shit, baby, bite your lip, girl. Ask for a car while you riding that dick. Oh, hop on top, you wanna ride, do a giggle while it's inside. Spit it in your mouth, girl, while you're looking in my eyes. Your pussy is wet, I'ma take a dive, I'ma tie you up like